In this video I'm going to show you how to cast on directly to a clasp, like for example a toggle or a jump ring and the lobster claw. As you can see, it's directly cast on. So you take a threader, a bead threader, or I happen to like to use dental floss threaders. They work just as well. And then you pull the yarn through, and then you pull this yarn through the loop of the clasp, and you leave about 8 to 10 inches of a tail to cast on the rest of the stitches. And now you wrap the yarn around your fingers as for the long tail cast on, making sure that the clasp is between your fingers. And I happen to like to use double pointed needles when I'm making a small piece like a bracelet or a necklace, because it's just smaller, it's easier to handle, but you can use any kind of knitting needle that you prefer. So now you cast on the first stitch, making sure that you incorporate that toggle or any clasp that you prefer to use. And now you have one stitch on the needle and it's also attached to the clasp. I'll show you that to you again, slower. Wrap it around your finger as your long tail cast on that one stitch. And before you cast on the next stitch, you have to make sure to pull the yarn through the hole of the clasp again, from back to front. And now you cast on the next stitch the same way. And before you cast on any additional stitches, you have to make sure that you pull the yarn through the clasp every time. Tighten it, cast on, and now you have 3 stitches to work with. They are securely attached to the clasp, and you just start knitting the same way as you would not have a clasp attached. And when you're finished with your piece, you can cut this a little bit shorter, the tail, and then you just take a thin crochet hook and you can just weave in the back of your work. And this way it's directly attached to your necklace or bracelet and you don't have to sew it on at the end.